Okay, hello and welcome back everyone. Today I'm Kevin from Kevin. See, my mouth has a hole in it, so you might not be hearing this very clearly, but today I have this adapter right here, which you can obviously read, I think, yeah. KNF Concept, Leica M. What you call this thing, man? Oh, Nikon Z, okay. I can read my own handwriting, yeah. My handwriting is like too rubbish, so yeah. But this looks like no, it's like, yeah, it is Nikon. See, yeah, okay. So I haven't wrote this thing wrong. This thing is the KNF concept adapter, which comes with this little thing inside, and you have this guy. So I'm not sure if this is the real box here, but it looks like some shit Chinese box. This thing is made in China anyway, yeah. See, but it's one of the posh adapters you can find for Nikon Z. And in my case, this thing was the fastest adapter to come, because locally in Indonesia you can't really find any Chinese adapters aside from KNF concept. This thing, people have said that their adapters are quite good. They come in this like plastic box which you'll never use, to be honest, yeah. But yeah, so let's push this little thing in. You get this box, which you could put this thing back in also. Let me go show you after this what you actually get inside. Yeah, so let's throw this box away, and you get this guy, this adapter right here. So this is the KNF concept LM to Nikon Z adapter, which is quite heavy actually. I used to sell adapters for like a M Sony E, which are from like the Chinese shit brands with no markings on them, yeah, just like LM to E mount or Nex. I got them for like super cheap a long time ago. Yeah. I bought like a few, which were like $2 a piece, and I sold them for like $10 a piece, which is quite okay, I'd say, for quite a flip, yeah. I also used them actually, so because when you use adapters, you can't actually see if they're used. So what I did was I actually used one. And before that thing had any scratches, I actually sold that guy, which is, I'd say, fair play, because like using using an LM to Sony E adapter, yeah. At least for me, I do not change the lens I put on. I don't change the ring. I only have LTM lenses, which means that I only have to change this guy right here. So you can see, change this LTM bit, and not the LTM to LM adapter. So if you, for example, use that adapter, yeah, you can just count it as QC, man, because one time on, one time off, and you're done. You'll never use it anymore. See? So this is quite sturdy actually, better than the cheap ones from China. This thing does cost quite a lot, yeah. So it's like 375,000 rupiah, which is about 3 times how much I sold the no brand to E-mount adapters for. But for Nikon Z, at least in Indonesia, this thing is the cheapest thing you can like get in like 2 or 3 days. So that's why I did, and I got this KNF concept. Let me go put this thing on. This is probably like such a rubbish video, but I think it's more like an excuse for me to put this Pentax 110 24mm f2.8 onto this Nikon Z. So this is gonna be my first time putting this thing on the Nikon Z. I'm not sure if this thing still vignettes, yeah, because it does on the Sony A7S, but that thing has like a thick filler stack. This thing has a thin filler stack, so let's see. Let me go put this lens away. Take this Yashica TSP off. And put this Pentax 110 on. So it does vignette. Focusing is like a dream, man, on this thing. And you can see my fingers there, because this is how small the lens actually is. It's really small. Talking vignette, oh shit, look at that thing right there, man. Look at that, like, light just getting stretched to the edge. This is a trick from the Pentax 110 series because of how small they're supposed to be. What you call this thing? These things are supposed to be for 110 film, which is essentially micro four thirds, I think. So that's supposed to be like, I think, about here, when you're talking about like framing, but then I'm putting this thing on a full frame Nikon Z6, which means that I'm stretching this to this, which is quite a big stretch for the lens itself. But vignetting is not that bad actually. I probably use this guy for some effects. Like look at this stretch here when you see the LED lamp right here. Yeah? For example, you can also flare with this thing. Quite cool. So let's say you focus down on this lamp, then you pull this thing out. See, look at the stretch. It just gets stretched to the edge, and you get like this chromatic aberration over there. Cool. So this is the adapter itself. Let me try wobbling the adapter. It does wobble a bit. Most of the wobble you see is from the Manfrotto 055. I mean Manfrotto RC141 head. I'm using a vintage Manfrotto head for this tripod, yeah, but it is quite okay. Let's change over to the Jupiter 3. This lens I haven't used in like a year, I think. So let's see. Okay, this is the Jupiter 3. So you can see a swirly bokeh over there, and here you go, chromatic aberration like hell. But this still is my old Jupiter 3 Red P edition LTM, which I still love up to this day. You can see the flare right there. Not very big flare because these things are Red P, but yeah, still. So this is the adapter itself. Let me go wobble the Jupiter 3. I'm gonna wobble the mount. And it doesn't make any noise, so quite good. If you wobble the adapter, you can hear like that tick, yeah. But then overall, it's not bad for like 300,000 rupiah, which is like $200, I think. About there, yeah. So yeah, not bad at all. Try focusing on this Yashica DSP. If I can, I can. Okay, so this thing has like a 1 meter minimum focus distance. Let's back off. See, look at this Jupiter flare, man. Awesome stuff. Then you can like see the Yashica DSP right over there. Let's focus down. Nice. So yeah, thank you for watching everyone. Hope you liked it, and I would recommend buying this thing because this thing is the only option you can find. If China starts to make adapters for this thing, which are like 100,000 rupiah, which is like $7, I think, go buy that one. Like adapters, you can like put shims. Shims are basically pieces of tape that you can like put over the lens, and what that does is that it makes the lens actually tighter. So let me go show you. For example, let me go push this thing over here. For example, your lens is supposed to mount here, yeah? And this thing is a bit too big, this cap. It'll wobble like this, and as long as your lens isn't broken or anything, you can put like a small piece of tape over here, yeah? Push it on firmly on the lens, on the camera, and turn it. It'll not wobble, I guarantee you. So that is why I still choose Chinese adapters, even though I've bought a KNF concept adapter, and I still do use the Sony adapters, which are cheap, like this guy right here. This thing is a Vodka adapter right here. Vodkas are really shit. Like you're not supposed to buy them. You cannot adjust their like vertical adjustment. So like if you have a lens that sometimes goes to the side, if you only have one lens and you're not sure if it's the lens's fault or if it's the adapter's fault, it's probably the adapter's fault. And that's why I do recommend you still buy the cheaper ones, cheaper than Vodkas, the ones with no name. Those things you can actually adjust the grub screws. These things you can. For LTM, if you buy cheap ones, they won't focus properly. They won't reach infinity. So I still do stacking with the cheap ones, yeah. Stack LM to E or LM to Z, then put an LTM to LM, and then you put an LTM lens on the LTM to LM adapter. This is what I've been doing with the what you call this thing? Legati also. So I have this what you call this thing? LTM to LM adapter, which then goes to an LM to L mount adapter, which is quite a mouthful here, but yeah, that's what I do. So this also has the opportunity to be essentially your second mount, because Nikon Z is not a very friendly mount if you're using vintage lenses, and that's why I've been using LM most of the time. And I've also been using Tech-Art adapter, which is not autofocus only because I took the chip out. So I bought this crazy expensive adapter and I took the chip out, which is somewhat counterintuitive, but it won't work with the chip. So the only way was doing that, just like unscrew the thing, pop the glue out and throw the chip. So yeah, thank you for watching. Hopefully this thing helped you in choosing your adapter. I do recommend this guy over buying a Tech-Art and then sticking a Sony E. I mean, like I am Sony E adapter, because then you have to wobble from a Tech-Art. Tech-Arts are really wobbly. No matter what Tech-Art you buy, they're shit. Like the mount itself is not. It's not supposed to be on your camera. That thing is shit. But then, just for like cutting costs, I do recommend Tech-Art, because Sony E, the following on the mount is quite big actually, to be honest. So by buying into Sony E, you can actually get a lot of lenses for cheap, and also buy a lot of like adapters for cheap. Like for example, M42 to Nikon Z, that thing doesn't exist, man, in Indonesia. You have to buy an EF to Nikon Z, and you buy an what you call this thing? M42 to EF adapter. Then if you wanna buy a Konica AR, nothing. You have to buy an Leica M to Nikon Z, and then you buy a Konica AR to LM, and then you get Konica AR to Nikon Z, which is quite a lot of shit to be honest, yeah, and like getting a lens itself. So yeah, to work. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you like it, and goodbye. Hopefully you find your favorite adapter useful, and hopefully you don't have to buy a KNF adapter, yeah, because they're all pieces of metal. They're not very useful aside from like getting the lenses stick. So anything will work. Buy the cheapest one you can find, as long as it works, yeah. Not like, don't like buy the most shitty thing that then falls apart in like 1 week. I've never had that happen, but it might happen if you buy like super cheap stuff. So yeah, thank you and goodbye.